going to be a video about Project 2 and the changes I made. This is my first draft on my portfolio. Just like Project 1, I use the in-text, and when Miss Cat was going over this, none of these lined up on her computer, so that was pretty unfortunate for me, but that's okay. I changed it in Project 2, so even though it did look a lot nicer on my computer, I wanted to make sure that on other computers these texts will line up. And so what I did was I used Word document and took pictures just like my other projects, such as Project 1. I did this, and Project 3 was actually the first time I used this. So in Project 2, I made it look a lot nicer on my website. Also, what you probably noticed is that I changed my document. When I created the first document, Kat helped me realize that it wasn't exactly pertaining to my audience in the right way. It was good information, but just not for the rhetorical situation. So what I did is I changed from what DSLR cameras are made of and how they work, which is a little too technical for people who are just beginning photography. Instead, I chose things that they might want to know about, like the settings and the buttons on the camera. I described those using the numbers, and then what I did was I made a video about it so that I gave a little bit more descriptions, and for people like me who would rather see and hear about something, they can watch this video and get same information but a little bit more from this part. I did the same thing with the settings on the back of the camera, very important things for beginners, and I did the same thing. I made another video about the buttons on the back of the camera. I gave a little bit more information than these do here, but again, for people like me who like to see videos, who like to hear, this was very helpful. I kept this. I know Kat mentioned that these were a little technical for beginners and that it's more regarding photography instead of beginning things, but I think it's very important to understand these things when you're beginning photography. They might be a little bit more complex, but I still believe that it's very important to understand these things beginning photography, because this is basically the basics of photography, like I say here, DSLR basics. But you may not agree, but I believe that these things are very important to keep in a document that has to do with beginners learning a camera. And again, I made a video. I kept the video from my first draft. This is the same video from my first draft. They all have the same cover, but they're different videos that explain these things, and I think it's a very good video explaining how to change the ISO, how to change the depth of field and exposure. So I kept that part of the document. Again, I made a project reflection, and for all of my projects, just a summary of what I learned from this project. Overall, this project looks a lot better. It pertains to my audience and rhetorical situation a lot better.